let's do a little exercise. You're standing in a group of friends and you're all talking.
Okay.
One let's say there's two little separate conversations going on, kind of like maybe you're at a table at a pub and there's multiple conversations. You're kind of in the middle. One conversation on the left is two of your friends and they're in conflict. One conversation on the right, somebody is talking about something that you know a lot about and they're wrong. Which one are you going to speak into first?
The one where they're wrong.
Yes.
First of all, wrong.
Like, you care about your friends, you want them to get along, but I know that if somebody is saying something and they're wrong, you're gonna be like, hold up, bitch.
Priorities.
Welcome to We're All Just Faking It. This is episode 50. Today we are talking about the Enneagram. With us today we have Steph, Dana, Blaze, and myself, Braylon. I am so excited about this topic. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Before we jump into the excitingness, did anybody fake it last week?
I'm looking at my calendar. What the fuck did I even do last week? I have big gaps on my calendar and I'm not sure why.
I'll go ahead while you look. I feel like I'm in a constant state of faking it. I said this in one of our other episodes, but it's still true. So
My initial reaction was to say nice to that, but I don't know why. That's not nice. So, sorry.
it's fine. It just is what it is, you know?
Yeah, I get it. Dana, what about you?
I don't know if I'm faking it. I'm just kind of getting through it at the moment, I think.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm like giving like a happy can-do attitude to it, or I'm just like, this is done now. Please leave me alone. I'm doing the next thing now. I don't know. I can't tell right now, but I may be faking it, maybe not so well faking it, just getting things done.
Honestly, I feel like life is kind of like that sometimes. You go through phases. I'm kind of in a phase where I'm like kind of similar. I'm not necessarily faking it, but I'm also not like having the best time. It's not horrible, but it's like one of those times where things are not like all like, oh, jolly, haha, wonderful, like, if that makes sense.
I'm like,
trying to get
do
back
I want to
there.
quit my job, or am I just a bit hungry? Who knows? Not me.
We'll never know.
I always just assume I'm hungry.
I'm like, maybe I won't feel like this tomorrow.
I had someone say that to me the other week. We were chatting on LinkedIn, and she's like, I hate, and then in parentheses, whoa, I need to eat. And I was like, I love that, actually.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm a self-reflective queen.
I love that.
I still have no idea why I have all these gaps on my calendar. I know I did way more last week. Like, I have a 6-hour gap on my calendar last Wednesday. What did I do last Wednesday that I just stopped working after 1:45? Because I know that's not what happened.
You just didn't track it.
Which is weird. So I'm missing something. But anyway, I mean, I don't know if I'm faking it. I'm doing new stuff and I'm uncomfortable. And it's a constant reminder that I do actually know stuff when you're in a phase of learning all new stuff. Mm-hmm. So I do know stuff.
Yeah, we all know stuff.
Reminder.
You listening, you know stuff too.
It's really hard when you're learning like a lot at once too, because then you just like cannot even like differentiate between like everything going through your brain.
It's like I don't know anything. Is kind of, oh, I know why I have gaps, because I did it on my Notion calendar. Okay, excuse me, ladies. We're good. They were tasks on my Notion calendar. I did not time block them.
Nice.
On the calendar for some reason.
Great. See, you did it.
Okay, sorry.
Super excited today. We are going to be talking about the Enneagram. And for everybody listening, the four of us have not discussed this yet in person. So this will be the first time we're ever talking about like what we think each other's Enneagram is. Oh, did anybody want to talk about a hyperfixation? I thought maybe nobody had one.
I finished my website. That was my hyperfixation for the last 2.5 days.
Nice.
I'll talk about my matcha. I've been into matcha for like a month or two.
Okay.
So
This is so news to me. I didn't what made me think
Yeah.
about and see it? Did you post it somewhere at Discord maybe?
Oh,
It's on
matcha?
Blue Sky.
yeah, I
Oh, Blue
posted it on
Sky.
Blue Sky.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been drinking it for like a month now. Maybe two.
So like lavender matcha, do you make it at home?
Lavender matcha, yes, actually.
Really? Wait, for
Because
real?
I found lavender paste somewhere like a couple of months ago, and I finally was like, oh, I'll use it because this is the perfect time to use it. And it's been perfect. I actually just finished it off today, so that tells you how much I've been drinking.
Oh my god.
it.
Highly
Okay,
recommend
gotta get
putting it
more.
in coffee. The lavender.
Mhm.
It's so dank.
Wait, you have lavender paste too? This is like a
No,
thing?
I use syrup. But
Okay, yeah.
same
I had a
thing.
friend that made lavender
It's
syrup.
yeah,
and
it's
it
the
was
same thing.
ridiculously good.
Yeah.
Also, Blaze, I almost wore that shirt today.
Oh, so
It was the shirt I
cute.
wore yesterday because I was
The
on my
fluffy
period.
monkey.
That's
doing great.
Okay, I love it. Anybody else with a hyperfixation?
Yeah. So I had the arts and crafts event yesterday,
How fun.
and it was really good actually. I really enjoyed it. But Joel, she had these like all these different shades of green gel pens, like metallic, glitter, like, and I was just like, these are fucking amazing. So today I went and bought myself some gel pens,
Oh my gosh. Nice.
vibrant and
Ooh.
metallic ones, and I've just been like coloring in, like drawing like fun things on my nice things journal.
Oh, like little add-ins, like hearts and stuff. That's so fun.
Yeah, and then
In the
like little
spaces.
suns and
Oh,
things.
cute.
So yeah, like that's gonna be my high fixation for a while. I feel.
That's so
Nice.
cute.
Dana, do you do that on the fly, or do you like do your journaling or your scheduling, and then when you have a moment, do you go back and add the doodles?
So because of the arts and crafts event yesterday, I did a nice things page, but I didn't have any stickers that I wanted to put on it, and I just kind of was like, I'm just gonna leave it for now. And so today, when I got the gel pens, I was like, I'm gonna put them in. It's gonna be amazing. And I was like,
Yes. Ah!
it reminds me of when I was a kid, because when I was a kid, I had these like gel pens, but they like were scented. Like the blue ones were cola, and then like the yellow ones were lemon, and strawberry was red and stuff. And it was just
Guys,
like,
remember the markers? Those were the best.
oh. So I was just like, I feel a little bit like a kid again having gel pens, and it's just nice.
It's
So I
so
feel
fun.
like this is gonna be me for a bit.
Nice. I love it. We'll see if next episode you're still hyperfixating on your gel pen.
Yeah, it might be something else. Who knows?
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about the Enneagram today. I'm so excited. We all have these books. They are from Ginger Lapid Bogda. I hope I said that right. And her website is the enneagraminbusiness.com. Here's the little booklets that we have if you want to look her up. Everything that we are reading today is going to be from this book. She also has a lot of other books, like this is just a little workbook. She has physical books you can read too. So yeah, the enneagraminbusiness.com is where we are getting these resources today. So I'm so excited. We are going to start by just reading a little history of the Enneagram in case people are unfamiliar with it. A lot of people think that the Enneagram is just like another silly personality test, but I initially heard about this from my therapist. And I think it's like one of the personality tests that probably can have the biggest impact on like uncovering your strengths and your weaknesses. So I'm just going to read this little history and then we will get into it. So, history of the Enneagram. No one knows the precise origins of the Enneagram, though its roots appear to lie in Asia and the Middle East and to date from several thousand years ago. The word Enneagram derives from the Greek words ennea, which is 9, and gram, something written or drawn, and refers to the 9 points on the Enneagram symbol. The Enneagram system offers profound insights into the 9 very different ways in which people think, feel, and behave. Various parts of the Enneagram have been articulated by, oh boy, Gerd GF, who was prominent in Europe beginning in the 1930s, by Oscar Ichazo from Bolivia, who has been working since the 1950s to refine the system, and by a Chilean-born Claudio Naranjo, MD, whose Enneagram work became well known beginning in the 1970s when he began teaching the system in Northern California. From the foundational work of these 3 teachers, others have made major contributions to our understanding of the Enneagram system. The Enneagram is currently being used in many fields and disciplines, among them business, education, psychotherapy, entertainment, the arts, medicine, sales, and law. In business, for example, an increasing number of organizations are using the Enneagram in both training programs and organizational change initiatives, since the Enneagram provides a thorough foundation for understanding why people actually behave in the ways that they do in the areas of communication, conflict resolution, coaching, leadership, teams, strategic planning, and organizational change. Who? So, been around for a very long time. Nobody really knows where it initially came from, and has sort of been getting refined and worked on for the last, I don't know, a while, 100 years. So, the way the Enneagram works is there is 9 different types, and they are the numbers 1 through 9. So, you say, like, I am number 7, I am number 4, whatever. So, I'm just going to read like one sentence about each one in case you're listening and you want to figure out which one you are with us. By the way, the Enneagram, there are tests online, but they say it's best to just read about it and then self-identify. So you read them and you'll be like, oh, that one's me. And if you're torn between 2 or 3, think about like, what is the most important to you? You might have characteristics of the other numbers, like a few here and there, but like which one really deeply is your biggest, your core wound and your biggest question for life, like the most important thing to you. So, okay, I'm going to read little sentences about each type now, and we're going to start with 1. So, 1s seek a perfect world and work diligently to improve both themselves and everyone and everything around them. 2s want to be liked, try to meet the needs of others, and attempt to orchestrate the people and events in their lives. 3s organize their lives to achieve specific goals and to appear successful in order to gain the respect and admiration of others. 4s desire deep connections both with their own interior world and with other people, and they feel most alive when they authentically express their feelings. 5s thirst for information and knowledge and use emotional detachment as a way of keeping involvement with others to a minimum. 6s have insightful minds, are prone to worry, and create worst-case scenarios to help themselves feel prepared in case something goes wrong. 7s crave the stimulation of new ideas, people, and experiences, avoid pain, and create elaborate future plans that will allow them to keep all of their options open. 8s pursue the truth, like to keep situations under control, want to make important things happen, and try to hide their vulnerability. And 9s seek peace, harmony, and positive mutual regard, and dislike conflict, tension, and ill will. Whew. Okay. That was a lot. Hopefully, though, if you're listening, you might have been like, hey, I think that one kind of sounds like me, or that one sounds like me. So we're gonna like dissect each other now. and I'm really excited. So I'm gonna go first, which means you guys are gonna tell me what number you think I am. And I'm really excited. And please know, you will not offend me. Totally fine. Whatever you think, I take no offense. Is great things about every single number. So it's not like any numbers are worse than any others. They're all equal. We are all beautiful human beings. So yeah, no offense to what you think I might be.
I can start us off.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm just gonna
If
sit
you
here
want.
and like not try not to say anything.
It's funny, like before this I felt so confident, and then like after hearing it again I'm like, oh, I don't know. But
Did you just change what you thought as well? Like only
I
like...
changed it this morning, but here's the thing. I think I'm still pretty sure.
I
So
have
my
one more thing
initial-
to say. Wait, your Enneagram, I told this to Steph yesterday. You are the same one your whole life. It never changes. You are
Which
born
fucks me
that.
up.
You will be that way forever. That is you. It's not like other ones where they're like, it might change throughout your life. The Enneagram, like, this is you to your core, doesn't change. Okay, that's all.
So my initial thought for Braylon was, so I'm going to give you my initial thought and what I actually think it is, because it could go either way, but my initial thought was 7. 7 is usually seen as charming, upbeat, and energetic, likes options, pleasure oriented, reframes negative experiences, and eclectic mind. But I think Braylon is actually 3. High energy, achievement oriented, seeks status, creates a persona of success, confident, out of touch with own feelings. I don't really see Braylon as out of touch with her feelings, but 3 is where I'm leaning.
That is so
Interesting.
interesting because for me, I picked 7 for Braylon because it's like the enthusiast to experience joy, being trapped in boredom or suffering is like your fear, and like strengths are energetic, adventurous, optimistic, and stuff like. And I always say to Braylon that to me, she is the color yellow. She is sunshine to me, and I just feel like 7 feels like sunshine to me.
Okay, so I almost agreed with y'all when I was thinking about for each of you, but I kind of felt like 7 was okay. And so you fucked me up last night, Braylon, when you're like, it's the same one your entire life. I'm like, but that's not how I looked at this. It's really, I've seen a big change with Braylon in the last like couple of years with her starting her own business. Very different person to me before that. I had done 2.
Oh.
But for the same reason that Dana said, Braylon is sunshine. Braylon fucking helps everybody. I wouldn't know any of you if it wasn't for
It's true. We all
Community
met
builder.
because of Braylon.
Okay, so this is really funny. I will just tell you, none of you got it right.
Ah.
but I will tell you that I did used to think I was a 2 for a while. And then at one point I did also think that I was a 7. But it wasn't until I had my family and I had a really long conversation about this, and we all like gave our thoughts and ideas. And like, I feel like my mom is the person who knows me the best out of anybody. And she's listened to somebody speak on this. Like, the person came to her groups, and she has 5 groups. So she heard her for like 5 times over the course of a week. And so she was like, okay, it's really ingrained in me, like how these work and about the different ones. And so I am a 9.
Ooh.
Which is very interesting because
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
like, okay, the basic concern is everyone being heard, including me. Like, if I'm in a group meeting, I'm like, oh, that person needs to talk, like they haven't said something. Or if like you're in a group of friends and somebody keeps like trying to interject, like I'm like the person that's like, hey, this person has something to say. And then so diplomatic, we assimilate big picture. These are the strengths. Diplomatic, assimilate big picture through attention to operational details. Easygoing, consistent, inclusive, and collaborative, develop lasting relationships, patient, and supportive of others. And something that I thought was so funny is like, I think about like when I go on vacation with my family, like the thing that I am most concerned about literally the whole time, like as we're like leading up, like it's everybody staying in a house together, right? I'm literally like, is everybody going to get along? Is everybody going to be harmonious? Like, is everybody going to be okay? So, yeah, areas for development, avoid conflict, unassertive, which is like so true. Forget priorities. Yep. Procrastinate. Yes. Passive aggressive. I read that to Trey and he was like, yes, you're extremely passive aggressive. And I was like, I know, I'm sorry. Indecisive, uncertain, and low energy, which is like I think that's very interesting. So yeah, that's me. I'm a 9. I automatically blend with other people's energy, but then I get quite distressed when I'm around negativity, anger, and conflict, which is so true. If I'm at work and 2 people like are arguing, like 2 members, and I'm like there sitting there, I'm just like I feel so uncomfortable and my whole body like tenses up and tightens up, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know, how do I make this stop? How do I make it go away? So yeah, that's me.
I
the
have
harmonizer. Yes.
This has made me think. One, we're all going to say our ones later, but like from what you're saying, we could technically like discover that it's actually something else later.
True. You could have different thoughts.
And then,
you might be a little wishy-washy if you're like undecided. Maybe we kind of help you get to what one you really truly are, because we all know each other pretty well.
And then when you were talking about how you try and make sure that everyone's had something to say, and if people interject, I was thinking, yeah, you literally do that for the podcast. I was like, yeah, no, like I see this now. So, like,
So
yeah.
yeah, the nines are often called the mediator, the peacemaker, the connector, and the harmonizer. So non-judgmental, relaxed, easygoing. Oh, we really like other nines. Nines love another nine. So
Imagine you're also conflict adverse. Me too.
You're
yeah.
a peacekeeper. Let's keep the peace together.
Which also makes sense because I'm an ENFP, and that also I think is like similar, very similar. But yeah, so that's
Interesting.
me. I'm a 9.
Interesting.
I didn't know that till my mom was like, "Yo, girl, you got to relook at your Enneagram," because I thought I was a 7, and I thought I was a 2. It's kind of hard sometimes. So
That's funny that we all got it wrong.
yeah.
7 I had only counted down because like
Well,
impulsive and
it's
avoidant of problems.
ADHD.
And I'm like, that's not Braille.
The 7 has a lot, is very much like your classic ADHD
I was
traits.
gonna say, yeah.
So if you have ADHD, a lot of times the woman said people will think you're a 7.
Okay. Okay, sick. Okay, oh my God.
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah,
This
who
is
wants
so
to go
much
next?
fun.
I feel like Blaze should go next. You
I
look
feel like I
excited.
should go next.
Okay.
Just because, yeah.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Oh,
What they think
Wants
is
to
Blaze?
guess me first.
I don't want to go first. Someone else
I'll go
first.
first.
Okay.
I put Blaze as a 3. I think like core motivation to be successful and admired. Like I see Blaze as she has 2 degrees. Like I see her as someone who like is successful, is like achieves a lot, like she's ambitious, adaptable, results driven. She's taken over our TikTok. She is doing so well at it. Like I just think Blaze is like, you want me to do this? Yeah, I think I can adapt to that. I can figure that out. You know, she edits the podcast episode. Like I just think Blaze to me is an achiever.
I love that.
Interesting.
Do you want to go, Steph?
I almost said 4.
Oh.
And then I read into it a little bit more and I decided, nah, not 4, 5. The investigator.
Ooh.
5's thirst for information and knowledge and use emotional detachment as a way of keeping involvement with others to a minimum.
They're analytical, highly knowledgeable, specialized field.
What do you think, Braylon?
Okay, so when I was first reading all of this, I thought you were 7. I was like, I feel like Blaze's whole thing is like having fun. Like she loves to have fun. But then I was like, I don't know. So I'm torn. My other one that I think you also could be is a 5. Because like if you look at this, like, okay, something I noticed is like when you're going through something, you're like, bye. Like you won't talk about it for a while until you've like processed it, and then you'll come and talk about it. And I think that you are systematic. I think that you do a lot of planning. I think you probably are excellent in crisis, and that you do feel like an expert on a lot of things. I don't think you're stubborn though, or overly independent. So I don't know. But then okay, so I also potentially think you could be a 9. So I'm all over the place. All over the place.
Funny enough, I think you said this last weekend. You were like, I think we could be the same.
Yeah.
We are. I'm definitely a 9.
Okay. That's what I thought. I was like, there's a potential that's what I was thinking of. I was like, Blaze could definitely be a 9 also.
I'm definitely a 9. I read it and I was like, oh, that's me. That's like totally me to a T.
Mm-hmm.
I think my...
Do you also worry when you go on family vacation that you're like, is everybody going to get along?
Yes. Yes, I do. I think my like analytical side throws people off.
Yes.
Because I do like, I think a lot and I don't really like talk about everything like straight away.
But that might be just avoiding conflict, or you know,
it's avoiding conflict. That's 100% what it is.
I feel like I've also seen you get a little bit passive aggressive
I
sometimes.
am passive aggressive.
Like I've
No, I've
witnessed
never.
it.
I'm not even being sarcastic. I have never seen you be passive aggressive.
Reagan
I have.
literally in the past like 2 weeks have been like, you keep doing like microaggressions.
Yeah, literally.
I'm
Maybe
just
just
thinking
like
back
when
to
we're
when we
talking
were
shit
mods in
together, we'll just
Braylon's
come at you.
server.
Yes, yes. Okay, I see it like in the online, like when you're like low key, like talking shit about somebody or something to me, like from like streaming world or something, right? You're like, I feel
Overt
like,
snarkiness to me. Okay.
Or just when someone's
Maybe because
like
I know.
needs to be modded and like because they're being like not the best.
oh yeah, that too. But yeah, I love it. That's so funny.
That is funny. As soon as you
Um,
said nines like other nines, I was like, oh,
yeah,
yep.
I find it so interesting that like we all have like such different numbers for each other. It's really
yeah.
like fun. It's nice to see like you've got like qualities of different things as well.
Yeah.
It's like how well you know the person. And it's at the
Well, and
very
like what
beginning of
it's like your
this, right?
mask too. Your mask could
Yeah.
be like a
Oh my
different
god.
Yeah.
version, and
I
that's I
didn't
think
even
where it
think
can get
about that.
confusing.
We
I
only
think
really know each other online for the most part.
me also being a Gemini does not help.
No, I think that I think that confuses people. I
It
feel like
totally
probably me
does.
too as a Sagittarius, like people don't expect me to be so like inclusive and you know what I mean? Like they kind
Mm.
of expect Sagittarius to be kind of a bitch and like
Oh,
yeah, if I'm being passive aggressive, I can be a bitch, but most of the time I'm really concerned about everybody getting along and having a good time.
Yeah,
I
I
feel like
hate it.
everyone has a side of them that just shuts it down.
If I
Yeah.
notice like two people aren't getting along in a group, I like that's
You get
all
like
I can think
viscerally
about.
uncomfortable. Like
Yeah,
my body, I like
I
literally
hate it
feel it in my
so
body.
much.
Oh, also, the something I didn't touch on. Your sign is either going to be a head sign, a heart, or not your sign, your number, a heart number, a head number, or a body number. So, nines are a body. We are a body number. So that means like, where is the thing? I thought that it was somewhere in here. Maybe not. Oh, heart center. Yeah. Gut center, um, brain center, or heart center. Heart emotional. So, yeah. I feel stuff in my body all the time. Like, literally, I get so uncomfortable. Like, oh, I hate it. Please
do you
stop
ever
arguing.
like send like an email that's like ever so slightly like conflicty because you have to like tell someone off and then you just feel like so much stress like until they respond?
Heart's
I
pounding when you send
literally,
it.
for the first like 5 years running the co-working space, if I had to send an email to a member that was like I have to ask them to leave or like have to ask them to stop doing something or like if they're breaking a rule and I have to literally go up and talk to them, it's like the worst thing in the world. I used to have my mom write my emails before ChatGPT
Aw.
existed. I'd be like, "Can you write an email about this because I can't even do
Okay.
it." Like, I can't.
I get Goblin tools to like check my email and be like, can you judge this for me? How does this come across? Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
or like add
So,
smiley faces just in case.
yeah. Who wants to go next? I love this.
Mine.
You want to go, Dana?
Please.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. I'll start. So Dana is really interesting to me because I've said for a really long time that Dana is exactly like my husband. Um, and I am fairly confident, granted, I don't know for sure, he hasn't gotten too deep into this, but fairly confident that my husband is a one. And I think that Dana is a one because she is very concerned about what is right and what is wrong. Like I have witnessed that a lot in your life about like what no like needs to be right. Like it's very important that like this is right and no this is wrong. And so that's and I think she's honest, practical, consistent, organized. I think she does strive for perfection and quality. I think she's a great leader. But then I think also Dana struggles with the inner critic. Like your inner voice is not being always nice to you. Um and so yes, That's my only guess for Dana, is that she's a 1. I mean, slightly, I think you potentially could also be what was the other one? Do a 6 maybe, but I really think you're 1.
This one was really hard for me because I'm torn between 1 and 2 for Dana, but it's like it's a flip flop. So it's like a split completely down the middle for me. Like you have strengths of one and then the improvements of the other, but they're like flip flopped.
Yes, I get what you're
I
saying.
can't pick.
I
I don't
also,
know if you're a perfectionist or a helper. You're both.
I also chose 1 and 2. Like, those were the 2 that I thought were Dana the most. And like you said, some of the strengths of 2, I think definitely fits Dana. So it was really hard to nail down.
Yeah, because like okay, so I was opposite, right? Because like Dana, you're not reactive. That's not a thing that I
That we
think
know
you
of.
that I know of. I can definitely see like okay, difficulty saying no, girl, fucking same. Unaware of own needs, girl, same. But it's like leading by example, striving for quality. You try very hard to be consistent and organized and honest and practical. I don't know if there's a split down the middle, but that's where I am.
Anyone else have anything to say?
Did everybody go?
No, before Dana
Oh.
says what she is.
I don't have anything else to add.
I'm really torn. I
I'm
think
so
it's gonna come
torn.
down to you have a lot of qualities of both, but like what is more your basic concern, right? Is your basic concern what is right, wrong, correct, or incorrect? Or is your basic concern, am I needed? Will others like me? I still think it leans more towards 1. But we'll see what Dana has to say.
I don't actually know what mine is. I was stuck between 2 or 9.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, if you're stuck between 2 and 9, then I feel like it probably is not 1.
I picked 2
Yeah.
because I'm like, I always really want to help people to like the detriment of myself. Like the reason I got burnt out last year and a half was because I just said yes to everybody and I didn't say no to anyone else, and I put everyone's needs before my own.
Mhm.
And I still, even now, if someone's like, can you do this? And I only have energy to do their thing or my thing, I'll do their thing.
Okay, that's a huge telling
Yeah, that
tale. I
is
think you might
very
be then.
true.
Yeah. Like, you know, when I'm like helping mod in other people's servers, like I'm always like, oh yeah, I'll just quickly do that for them instead of just like, I know, going to eat dinner and things. So I would say that's why I was thinking more towards you. And
Do you want me to read the like heart versus body? Because a 2 is a heart and a 9 is a body. Maybe
do you
that
want
would
me to
help
say
you.
why I thought I was 9?
Oh yeah,
first,
sorry.
or-
Yeah.
That's
That
fine.
would be great.
So I thought I was 9 as well, is because I really struggle with conflict, like you guys were saying. Like if I have to send like a slightly shitty email to someone, I feel that. And like, I don't know, I feel like 1, I feel like is like for autistic people. 2, I feel like is for people who like are people pleasers. 9 feels like you know, people with anxiety. So I feel like I have traits for them all. I think I can be avoidant, and I do fear conflict and disconnection, but I don't know if it's like my core fear, you know?
Yeah. That's true. That's the hard part. Like, what is your core? So your Enneagram type may be in the heart center, types 2, 3, and 4. Individuals with these emotional center types work hard to project a particular image, and they use their emotions to perceive how others are responding to them. 2s try to create an image of being likable, and they often look to others for affirmation of their self-worth. I guess none of us are 3s, but 3s work to project an image of success. They seek respect and admiration of others for what they accomplish. As the most inwardly focused of the 3 heart center types, 4s try to create an image of being unique or special, and they use their emotional sensitivity to defend against rejection. So if you're in the body center, also called the gut center or instinctual center, types 1, 8, and 9, anger lies in the emotional substructure of these types. The one's anger, while deep, often manifests as frequent irritations followed by flares of resentment. Ones also tend towards self-criticism, which is anger turned inward. Eights tend to express their anger frequently and directly. Their anger, which begins in the gut and moves rapidly up and outward, is stimulated by various events such as an injustice done to someone, weakness in others, someone taking ineffective control of the situation. This is my mom, so I'm laughing. And someone's lying. The nine's anger, sometimes called the anger that went to sleep, this is so funny, lies deep below the surface. The anger gets activated when nines either feel ignored or forced to do something, in which case their anger may turn into passive aggressive behavior. Nines tend to avoid direct anger and conflict, preferring a feeling of rapport and comfort with others. Dana, I could definitely see you being a 9. For sure. For sure, for sure.
The
Do you
problem
feel like
is that like well, you all said like ones for me, and when you were like talking about them, I was like, huh. Yeah, maybe. So now I could be any. I really don't know.
like what's most important to you? Okay, imagine, let's do a little exercise. You're standing in a group of friends and you're all talking.
Okay.
One let's say there's two little separate conversations going on, kind of like maybe you're at a table at a pub and there's multiple conversations. You're kind of in the middle. One conversation on the left is two of your friends and they're in conflict. One conversation on the right, somebody is talking about something that you know a lot about and they're wrong. Which one are you going to speak into first?
The one where they're wrong.
Yes.
First of all, wrong.
Like, you care about your friends, you want them to get along, but I know that if somebody is saying something and they're wrong, you're gonna be like, hold up, bitch.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Okay, one can be taken care of in a second. The other one's gonna need some massaging.
Yeah, see, if I was in that same circumstance, I wouldn't care about the person who's wrong. I would go to the friends who are arguing.
I wouldn't either. I would be like, who cares if you're wrong? Like, it's okay to be wrong.
Exactly, yeah.
You can be wrong. Like, let them be wrong. That would be me.
Yeah,
totally
I wouldn't care. I would just leave
I would
it.
tell them fighting that the other person's wrong, so all three of us can go tell them how wrong.
So what does that mean?
I don't know. I feel like maybe it means you're a 1.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's read like a little small bit of a paragraph and see if it sounds you.
Okay.
Ones believe there is a correct solution for any given challenge, question, or problem. They are quick to react to these situations by offering the right way, the best approach, or the correct answer. Even when ones conclude that the correct answer is never black and white, they will still assert that there is really only one way, which is always gray. I also feel like this is you as well. Because being responsible is an overarching value for ones, they usually approach their work with diligence, demonstrating qualities such as follow-through, timeliness, and attention to detail. When others do not display these same characteristics, ones often feel resentful and think, why do I work so hard when others seem to get away with a less than stellar performance?
Girl, same though.
I don't know what you mean.
I'm laughing so hard because that's you at your job. You're always like, how come I work so hard and these people aren't doing shit?
Oh, always. I'm always thinking about work. I'm like,
And
what
then,
the fucking point?
okay, resentment will build up in ones, and they tend to express it through flares of anger that often take others by surprise. I feel like every time you've come in and you're really angry, we're all like, whoa, Dana's angry. Like,
That's been brewing for a while.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I feel like also it says ones can be highly critical of others. I feel like sometimes there's like somebody at your work or something where you're just like, they're so dumb. Like, why can't they do it right? Like,
Oh god. Yeah, my colleague is always like trying to give me, because he's like a man, so he's always like trying to give me like instead of just listening to me and let me vent, he just like wants to give me a solution. He's like, maybe just this. I'm like, no, they could just do their job properly. Like, maybe just that.
Yes.
Maybe that.
Or just do it right. Just do it right.
It also says that you appreciate the things that are exceptionally well done. Like you have high standards for whether it's like a play, a symphony, a book, a project, anything that exemplifies excellence, which I feel like you also have. Like you really like nice things. And you like hold people accountable to those high standards. Like you're like, I'm acting at this wonderful high standard. Please, everybody else, rise to my standard as well. Thank you.
I'm sorry. There's a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things. And any way other than the right way is the wrong way.
And me and Blaze are like, yeah, whatever, right way, wrong way, do it whatever way floats your boat. We'll get there. We'll like good enough. Like I did basically the best I could. Here it is.
I do try. I am trying to work on that and be a bit more like you guys. I think the podcast kind of helps with that because if I'm like that with this, it would just like drive me insane. So I do try my best.
Hey, I think you're doing a great job.
But I am like a bit like in life and at work.
See, that should feel good though, because like you are putting in the 110%. So if you ever decide one day you're like, you know what, I'm gonna give 40, it's probably still gonna look like 102%.
I don't know how to do that though. Like I literally don't know how to just not give my whole being to something.
Also,
you whole ass everything. I feel you.
I think that it makes a lot of sense that you one is a body one. And I think that makes so much sense for you because think about when you're stressed, how much it affects your body.
Yeah.
Like and I think that totally lines up for you. And I feel like all three of us are kind of good at trusting our gut. Like you're like you're not making decisions based on analytical or like your heart. We're like, what feels right? Like what is the right decision just because like this is the right one. Like so
I think the reason I got stuck with 2 so much is because I do want to be liked by everybody. I really don't want to be unliked.
So
or hated,
you are probably a 1 with a 2 wing. So we didn't talk about the wings, but the wings are the numbers that are right next to yours. So for 1, you could either be a 9 wing or a 2 wing.
Oh, shit.
So these are the second types of your core personality, which means that you may also display some of the characteristics of these Enneagram types. Wings do not fundamentally change your type. They merely add additional qualities to your core personality. You may have 1 wing, 2 wings, or no wings at all. It's also common to have had 1 wing more active when we were younger and have another one appear as you matured. So Dana, I think you could have both wings. Ones with a 9 wing may be more relaxed, react less quickly, and enjoy nature's perfection. So that's when Steph was like, oh, you're not as reactive. But ones with a 2 wing may be more generous and gregarious and may focus their work on helping people.
Yeah,
so I bet that is what you are. You have a lot of the qualities of 2.
Yeah, it's just the relaxed react less quick. I'm like, no, that's not me.
Okay,
so a little bit reactive.
Maybe you'll be that. You'll be in more of a 9 wing when you're older, right?
Maybe.
You know,
even though you just said that we don't change.
Well, no, your wings can change.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the wings. You can have 1, you can have both, you can have none, and that can change. Your wings can change over time.
It's interesting that the wings for 1 is 9 and 2, which were the ones I was stuck between.
Yeah.
That's just like really interesting.
That is really interesting.
But yeah, I do think I really love helping people. Like I just really love helping people.
Yeah.
I think it makes me feel like I have some kind of purpose and usefulness in my life, which is not great really.
I think that's definitely admirable.
That's definitely why I was so stuck between 1 and 2 for you. I thought like you had a lot of 2 traits.
That makes super sense.
Just cut it down the middle and flip them, and it would have been. It's perfect.
It's funny as well because it says 2s with a 1 wing may be more serious, critical, and dedicated to work. So
yeah. I think it's like you said, like the little exercise I did. 2 people are having a conversation. Which one are you interjecting to first? Immediately, you were like the people that are wrong. Yeah, so that for me would tell me like that's your. It's more important to you than like helping people. But I definitely think you have a 2 wing. Blaze, do you think that you have an 8 wing or a 1 wing?
I don't know. Can you explain
Yeah.
those a little bit?
So, we didn't really talk about eights, but eights are very, like powerful. Think of like Leo energy, powerful, assertive, do not want to be seen as vulnerable. They take leadership roles in every situation that they're given. So, nines with an eight wing may exhibit more personal power and take more control over situations. Like, if you're in a group, are you like, all right, I'm in charge, I'm the leader, this is what
No,
we're
I
doing?
used to be, but I wouldn't
Well, they
say that
said.
I'm like that now.
And then nines with a one wing may be more punctual, discerning, and judgmental. But you also remember you can
That's
have
hard.
no wings too.
Yeah, I feel like neither of those are really
Yeah.
fully me.
I'm pretty sure that I have an eight wing. I don't like to be vulnerable. If put in a group, I am immediately like, okay, give me the instructions. I'm in charge. I will split us up. I am the leader. Like, I will be the one. Like, I can't not do that in a group setting. It like physically hurts me to let somebody else be in charge. So, yeah, I think I have an eight
I
wing.
also think a lot of people like it when there's someone like that. Like I would, if someone was like, "Hey, I'm gonna take charge," I'd be like, "You go for it. As long as it's right, that's fine."
As long as it's
Yeah.
right. As long as you're doing it right, I don't care how you do
I
it.
agree. It's fine.
But if they're wrong, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to just be passive aggressive at you because you're wrong and I don't like
Okay,
it.
well, if that's what you think is right, let's do that then.
Okay, so Steph, you're last but not least.
I'm
Does
really
anyone
glad
wanna-
that I'm last because it solidified the hell out of my thinking, and I'm.
Oh, yeah, because you were kind of confused. I thought this might help you.
I'm between for staff. I have two in between.
I also am in between. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay.
I was between 5 or 8 for staff. I think with 5, the investigator, you know, she's like analytical, independent, highly knowledgeable. I feel like Steph is like, if you want to go to somebody and be like, hey, I want to start a business or I want to do that, Steph is like the person who seems to just be able to do everything. She's just like this boss woman who is like fierce. You know, she's yeah, she just does it. She just goes and gets it. And then I was also between 8 because like to be in control, strong, assertive, decisive, protective, like Steph is that to me.
Interesting.
So were you done, Dana?
Yes, sorry, yes, I am.
Okay, no, you're good. So at first, I was like, this is so easy. Steph is obviously the artist. Like through and through. I was like, of course, seeks meaning through interpersonal connection, inspiring, creative, introspective. But then, then as I was reading more, I was like, I actually also think that Steph is an 8. I think that she likes when her life is under control. I think that she is very like truth, honesty, expects people to step up and take responsibility like when they're wrong, wants authority figures to be like good people who take charge and do their job. Like literally just the other day we were talking about politics and she's like, why can't you just fucking do your job? And then I also think she kind of maybe doesn't like being vulnerable that much. I think she maybe has a hard time talking about her feelings and stuff. So
I just wanted to say, which one was the artist? Because you didn't give that one a number.
Four
Okay.
is the artist. Yeah.
Yeah, my initial thought was for the artist as well, but Steph honestly stumped me the most. So I actually don't know.
Who is she?
Yeah, I still am pretty like when I read the areas of strength for an 8, direct, self-confident and authoritative, highly strategic, overcomes obstacles, energetic, protective of others, moves projects forward, and supports others' success. Those are all things that you have.
Yes, it
I would
definitely
say my
sounds like
first
Steph.
kind of like when I first like spoke to Steph like properly and like became her friend, direct is definitely something I would like say like, but like not in a bad way, but like if you're wondering what Steph is thinking, she's going to be very direct with you about how she feels. So
I also think the question at the bottom of 8's page, do I have a strong exterior, one that is sometimes intimidating to others, that hides a less visible but vulnerable interior? 100%. I think you show up like a fucking badass, like in a good way. Do you know what I mean? Like you have this, like you can go in and take charge, like with big wigs. I can imagine you like walking into a business room and just being like, I fucking got this. Like there's not even a second thought.
So
You might not be
interesting.
feeling that way inside, but I think that's the persona that you put out, is like you're a boss.
I'm so interested now what Steph is.
Yeah,
Same.
what do
I'm
you
so
think?
interested.
Okay, so I was torn between a 3 and a 6.
Oh.
And I read every fucking single one of these multiple times. And then as you guys were going through them, I'm a 6.
You're a 6.
I'm a 6.
Okay.
It's and I thought I was a 3, and I was pretty married to
I can
3.
see
I was
why.
pretty
You
married to
always fucking play devil's advocate.
but
You do always play devil's advocate.
after hitting burnout, like 3 is not. I have experienced, like, I have been struggling so hard this
Oh my
last year with, like,
God.
personality shift after hitting just like full fucking burnout. I'm a 6.
You also literally just told me that you're like prepping because you're afraid of you're like, I'm going to get a map and like put this stuff in my house in case there's a fire. And you were like,
Wait,
I'm
okay,
gonna-
no, that's an idea I actually want to share with everybody. So I found a floor plan of my house and I drew it out in Procreate, and I'm gonna make like a little fire route like you see in like normal like office buildings, but I'm gonna make it really cute, and then I'm gonna frame it and put it on my wall.
if
And
that's
it's
not,
the cutest fucking thing ever.
if that's
You
not
did have a
the-
binder of like what like stuff you need to make sure you have, and like have all your.
We're building it. We're building a doomsday thing. So 2
See?
hours every Sunday, we're gonna do a little bit of like doomsday prepping.
Nice.
And I know that makes me sound like a fucking psycho, but I'll have dry goods and you won't. So
So true.
They
Now that
say
I'm
that,
reading
though,
sticks,
you
my
should use it every so often and then replace it so that you don't just have a load of dry goods that are just out of date. So you should.
I made a Notion template.
Awesome.
I can
Oh,
share
nice.
it in our resources.
Sorry,
Nice.
Blaze. I spoke over you. I do apologize.
it's all good. I was just gonna say that now that I'm rereading six, yeah, I definitely see it for stuff. It
Like,
makes so
you're-
much sense.
Basic concern. What could go wrong here? Who can I trust? Am I making the best decisions? That's like
Yes.
every time we talk about your business stuff, I feel like you're always like, is this the right decision? Like, can I trust that
Plan
this is going to
B.
work? Like,
Plan D. And I've always been like that since I was a kid, even in foster care. If I felt out of control of my situation, I would sit down and I would start making a list. What are the things that I need to do to fill an apartment with furniture? What are the bare necessities? How much money do I need to make? I had notebooks just full of planning. Just makes me feel better. I feel in
So-
control.
that makes so much sense too, because 6s are a head center. And I definitely see you as being a head center.
Head center, and then I'm also a 5 wing.
Yeah, I don't see you as
I'm
risk
not
taking.
impulsive. Yeah,
No.
not really.
Like, my dad is a 7, you guys, and literally he would like risk his life to have fun.
Oh my god.
Like, he literally would do like the most risky thing in the name of fun, like skydiving, jumping, like whatever you name it. He's like, if it's fun, I'm doing it.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah, I'm
me.
not like that at all. No, no.
I'm not getting
Also,
on the skyline. This is-
A 3, you had said you thought you might have been a 3. One of the things that I learned is that 3s, like if you meet somebody and they are immaculately dressed every single time you meet them, I mean like to the nines, hair,
Yeah,
makeup, nails, that's a 3. Those people
I don't
exude
feel like I'm
3 energy.
competitive. I
No.
don't really hide my feelings. The overextended is a people pleasing burnout bullshit thing. I
So
can be impatient with other people's feelings, but
I feel
that
like
I
this
have
is
worked
really
myself so hard on that over the years. It's let people feel their shit.
about the head center. The 3 types share the tendency to engage first in elaborate analysis as as a reaction to their common emotion, fear. So 6s react to their worry and fear by anticipating negative scenarios and planning alternatives to circumvent what could go wrong. I feel like that's definitely you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It also plays well in my job too, because it's risk. It's like risk averse. You know the word I'm trying to say.
Risk averse.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
The next page is about arrow lines. Do you know much about that?
I don't know much about arrow lines.
I did do my arrow line 2, and I can share mine.
Yeah, what does it say for 6s? Do you have a 3 or a 9? We can read it.
So that's okay. So I felt like it kind of fit with the 3, right? Because I was kind of torn between a 6 and a 3.
Hmm.
That kind of just solidified that. I don't know if that's exactly what
I
that
think
means.
you have both. Oh, let's read a little descriptor thing. Arrow lines refer to the 2 types on the Enneagram symbol that have arrows pointing away from or toward your core Enneagram type, and you may show some characteristics of one or both of these additional types. Access to your arrow lines can be beneficial to you, adding complexity, nuance, and flexibility to your personality, but they do not change your fundamental type. That is, your patterns of thinking and feeling and motivational structure remain the same. You may have strong links to one arrow number, both arrow numbers, or neither. People with the same type who have strong links to their arrow numbers may use these arrow qualities quite differently. So did you feel like a 3 or a 9 was more applicable, or
Yes,
both?
the arrow line from 9 is me in a small nutshell. That is literally me. Like, I fucking love nature, and I have gotten in trouble at work for asking people their perspective when I've already gotten an answer from my boss. I'm not trying to circumvent or step on your toes or go around you. I'm trying to get as many perspectives as possible so I can understand the situation better. It is a
So, yeah.
me thing.
It says 6s use their connection to 9 to relax, something very helpful to the normally tight-wired 6. For example, taking time to walk or enjoy nature fills 6s with the feeling of safety and calmness. They are more appreciative of different viewpoints and perspectives, a quality that can be invaluable in times of duress when 6s start projecting and imagining their perspective as the only viable one.
Absolutely. I love all different perspectives, cuz like if I don't know what the potential is, how do I know that it's even an option? Like marketing operations, amazing example. I didn't fucking know what marketing operations was a year ago. It's never been a job ever in my entire career of working as an adult. That has never been a thing that I've been exposed to. So how did I know it existed? Didn't.
This is really interesting, Dana. Do you feel like you have the line to 4?
Well,
Or
I
so?
definitely don't have the 1 to 7.
So the line to 7, the one from 1 to 7 says ones who have a strong connection to 7 are far more flexible, spontaneous, innovative, lighthearted, and they have more fun. But the 1 to 4, I feel like it's very much you. Ones who have a strong connection to the type 4, which again is the artist, pay more attention to their own inner experiences and are therefore more introspective and aware of their own feelings, which I feel like is so true.
Yeah.
In addition, a link to 4 adds originality and creativity to the ways in which ones approach work, life, and any aesthetic interests. And you're like totally an artist.
Yeah, I didn't know that until like last year.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like an artist, so that's me. Yeah, I would say for sure, like especially when like I'm in therapy, like I know like I can talk about my feelings. I just don't know what to do then afterwards with them. But like I'm very like able to like speak kind of like I can say I do this because of that and blah blah blah. But I need you to help me with like that after bit. Because like I know all these things, but now help.
Blaze, do you feel like you have one of those?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which one?
Do you know which one? Can you guess?
It has to be 3.
It's 3. It's definitely
Yeah.
3.
Same. So 9s with a strong connection to 3 have a stronger goal focus and results orientation, qualities that help them shift from the distractions of seeking comforting and comfortable activities to a more forward-moving, action-oriented approach to life and work. I feel like the line to my 3 is new. I did not always have a 3 line. But I also think I might I don't know. I'm not verbally expressive. Maybe I am. I could
I am
potentially have a
very
line to
verbally
6.
expressive.
You think?
Yeah.
I think I could have both. I think that I wouldn't be surprised if I had both.
I think
you
you
vocalize
definitely
needs
could
very
have
well.
both.
And I'm glad someone else has a line to both of them, because I was like, come on guys, really, just one? No. Oh.
And then we didn't talk about my wings, but I for sure think I have an 8 wing. Or did we talk about that? Because I'm like, all right, I'm the leader. Get in line.
I think we mentioned it.
You did say that, but not in relation to the wings.
Okay,
directly.
yeah. I think I
That's
have an
very-
8 wing.
I think it's interesting that Blaze is a 9 arrow line from 3 when I thought she was a 3.
Yeah, right?
It
See,
makes
it's those
sense.
little
It
things
totally
that
makes
you're
sense.
like, okay, those are the ones that I'm picking up on, but like what's your core?
See, yeah, I like that. I like that it touches on all of them because we are complex human beings.
We are, yes. Just
Yeah.
like it's like only looking at your sun sign versus looking at your whole star chart.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, so when you guys went into this, did you look at it in the thread of like work? Because on the 4th page, it's like preferably from a work context. Write down the strengths and weaknesses that
That's
you feel
just
like
this book.
Okay.
This is the Enneagram in business, so I think that's why the focus is on work, but I think I would look at it as like a holistic approach for your whole life.
I did it for work because
Oh.
I don't have that many interactions outside of work.
True.
You know what I mean? I feel like I'm also a very different person outside of work. There's a lot of people that say, Steph, I would love to work with you. No, you wouldn't. I am not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same.
That was so interesting. Like none of us really got it right. I feel like
It is really interesting, but it's like, right? Blaze and I have met in person once. Dana and I only talk to each other on the internet. You and I like Braylon came over the other day. I think I did most of the talking. And then I felt like I was talking to him, so I shut up for a little bit. And it was wonderful.
no, you're fine. It was wonderful.
I feel like I nailed Dana, at least. Because I was only between 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Yeah,
to be fair, you all
yeah.
kind of got me.
It was difficult for me, I feel like.
It's funny because we looked at this in August in one of our episode talks, and I thought I was a 2 with a wing for 3 at the time.
That's so interesting.
And I would not say that now.
Yeah.
So when we do our next resolution episode, I want to pull this back open just for the 4 of us and just see. It's gonna be the same, but just to see.
Well, maybe your wings change, or maybe your arrow changes.
Right.
Yeah.
It also
Maybe we
can.
really lean into that shit.
I forget where it's at, but I thought that there was something in here about it like relationships. Maybe we'll have to look that up because like there's certain ones that get along really well with other ones. Like my
Ooh, yeah, I
sisters
wanna
and
look
I
that up.
are 9, 6, and 3, which is like a perfect triangle. And I remember her saying something about
Interesting.
and like then she also said that nines love ones also. They make a great marriage, which is really funny. Yeah, a 9 and a 1. So go find yourself a 9, Dana.
Okay. Any nines out
you
there,
know-
come find me. No.
Blaze and Steph, do you guys know what your partners are? Do you have a hunch?
Rona's really not into this kind of stuff, so I'm gonna have to kind of do a self-evaluation. He gave me permission to do a self-evaluation on him.
Oh, nice.
So I'll noodle on that a little bit.
Okay.
But if you can just tell me what Trey's is, and I'm sure we can just
Trey is a 1.
stamp that right on.
That's
there.
what I
I'll give
think.
you-
There's like a slight chance that he's a 6, but I really think he's a 1. He also potentially could be an 8, so I don't know actually.
I think Reagan might be an 8. But I don't know.
Hello, my dear.
This was so interesting. Literally, I had so much fun learning so much more about you guys and about myself. What?
What's
Oh,
the
go
next
ahead.
one we're gonna do?
The next one, what?
You guys want to learn how to take the predictive index? And
I love the predictive index.
I don't know how to read them. I have a little bit of PTSD when it comes to the PI. I had a boss that was kind of obsessed with it, and he would make me take it like every 6 months
Ew.
and then give me very horrific feedback. Like I think one of his feedbacks on one of our meetings was he pushed it back at me. He's like, "Wow, you must be exhausted pretending to be something that you're not." I'm like, "This is
Ew.
wonderful."
Horrible.
Yeah, that was like the
Gross.
worst job I've ever had.
So, with all of that being said, what do you guys feel like your biggest takeaways were?
I mean,
That
what
I put
actually
on a
am.
much more crunchy exterior, but I knew that. But it's always interesting when people are like, "Steph, you're so aggressive." I'm like, I'm really not. I'm
No, that's
really
just like what I think
very
your
chill.
mask comes across as. Like,
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely, and I don't intend for it. It's just funny, and it's funny that it still
Wait,
continues
what did we
on.
decide you were? What did you? You're 6.
Most people said 8.
Okay, but you're 6. Okay. Yeah, I love that. What about you, Dana? What's your biggest takeaway?
I guess what I actually am, because like I was between 2, and then we found out I wasn't either of those 2. So
Do you feel like aligned with the one that you are? Does it feel like, yeah, that's me?
So, they have the questions on the end, and like the question for 1 is do I have a voice or message in my head like a tape recorder that continually criticizes me for what I do wrong? And I'm like, yeah, I'm working on it. And then for 2, it's like, do I intuitively know what someone else needs, but have a hard time articulating my own needs, even to myself? I'm like, yeah, but I'm working on it. So yeah, I feel like a 1 with like a 2 wing makes
Yeah,
a
you're
lot
probably
of
very
sense.
close.
Both
between
are
the
like
two.
sometimes.
I agree with Steph though. I feel like it could have gone like either way.
Yeah, I think that's funny.
Yeah,
I do
it's
think-
just the areas for development on 1 do not. Those are not. That's just not Dana. Just chop them off.
My biggest takeaway is I think it's funny that Blaze is also a 9.
Same. I think it's funny that
I'll get along really well. 9's like
yes,
9.
exactly.
I had a little hunch, but I wasn't entirely sure. Like, so then, yeah.
It's funny because I just completely like. For some reason, I told myself, yeah, we're probably not the same one, so I just completely discounted it. But like, it makes so much sense.
Yeah,
It's funny.
I think that's pretty funny.
I thought the arrow lines were really interesting as well to learn. Like I thought that was really interesting too.
It's all very fascinating. What about your
I
takeaway,
also-
Blaze?
My sorry. My biggest takeaway was 1 about you also being a 9, and then it was really fun to see like what everyone thought I was or what we all thought each other was. That was fun.
I thought that was so fun. It's like so interesting to see like how your friends perceive you. Right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, well, this was great. I had a blast. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. And this was literally like I feel like I didn't even realize the time was passing by. It was so much fun.
I think
we
my
hope,
first question was, are we going longer than an hour? Because I don't want to not stop.
yeah,
It's just been
right?
20 minutes, right? Like
It's so fun.
it's been that long.
Hopefully you found some value in this. Maybe you learned more about your Enneagram and yourself, and let us know if so. We have a Discord where you can access resources, and we also have like an episode chat specific to each episode. So if you want to come talk about Enneagram, come and join us. We would love that. Absolutely. Follow us on social media. We are super active on TikTok now, so make sure you give us a follow, and YouTube, and tune into our next episode, which is where we're going to be talking about our favorite video games.
Sick.
Yay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.